Absolutely. Absolutely. How y'all doing? It's cold out here in New York. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Excellence Podcast. Oh, we're going to chop it up. Brothers, we're going to chop it up. Let's do this roll call. The Queen. Shower in the building. Salute, Queen. How are you? Macados Mac of the South, Black Martial Arts Society, Nicholas Levy, my brother Eric Jordan in the building. Rod Neal, what's good? Happy to see y'all. My brother Macados Mac of the South. Shogun 76, what's good? Smash the like button, smash the dislike button, whatever it is you want to do, go ahead and do it. I thought about doing this show on the fly, and I may have talked about this before. We at show 393. Can you believe it? Damn. And I may have focused on this before, but I'm going to focus on it again. Fellas, stop chasing tail. Oh, word, Nick, in Memphis is shit. Yo, my brother Trick Note, he sent me a picture. He in Houston, along with 503 Line. They had some serious snow. They had snow down there like we had snow up here in New York in the 80s. I mean, this is pinball player salute, brother. This is some crazy stuff, man. Global warming is real. Wow. Fellas, I'm going to need you to stop chasing tail. I'm going to need you to focus on becoming great. Night Train, salute, brother. Stop chasing tail. Stop chasing tail. Jeff Spark, my brother, salute. I need y'all to stop chasing tail. Let me tell you why, man. Chasing tail is a distraction. All right. To be real, in the young age, most of us can't afford to chase tail because chasing tail costs money. And when you're young, it's money you ain't got. And it's money you don't want to. Tail is not an investment, y'all. It's not. It's a moment of pleasure. And once that pleasure's over, life is still there. It's sort of like drug addicts. You know why they take drugs? You know why they get addicted? Because for the time that they're high, whatever pain they're going through is away. Tay, good morning, Queen. Well, good evening. It's temporary. It goes away. But then when the high comes down, it's back to life. So we got to be better than that. So on a male's perspective, telling you men to stop chasing tail. And let me explain why. When you start going through puberty, you have a bunch of hormones going through your body. Stormy B, man, in the building, salute. It's normal. You know, morning wood. ES, salute, Queen. Dry humping the mattress and all that stuff. You know, your forearms are big because you're masturbating all over the place. It's normal. All right. I'm talking to the men now. Some of you can remember your first orgasm. You know, and I'm not talking about the one you gave yourself. I'm talking about the one that, you know, like when you first laid up with a chick. It can be the most addictive thing in life, but sometimes, Jose Diaz, salute. Sometimes, you become a drug addict. You want that feeling all the time. And you put yourself in very awkward positions where your life is at risk. Whether, you know, you're putting yourself at risk, you know, for an STD or whatever, or Um, you're finding yourself in places where it's unsafe. That was me. That was me. I told y'all the Brooklyn story, and that's just one of a few. The other stories I'm going to put on Patreon. Do not miss. Go subscribe to my Patreon. Do not miss those, because there's a lot of things I cannot discuss on YouTube, because it's like, nope. Nope. They will shut that ish down in a minute. But those of you that got sons or nephews, you need to share those stories with them, if you have any. I'll just share the Brooklyn story with y'all. There's been a couple of them, but the one where I felt I almost died in, well, there was a couple of ones where I've almost, like a few of them, I almost took an L. No, but this one was bad. This one was bad. I was down at 42nd Street. This is before 42nd Street. If y'all haven't been to New York in a while or ever been, 42nd Street is a tourist trap now. It's sort of like PG now, but back in the day, it was rated, forget R, it was rated X. The old 40 Deuce, it was rated X. And there was 2 arcades down there. Y'all remember arcades? You go in there, put your quarter in the machine and go down and play. So every now and then, I would go down there. You know, me and my boys would go down there, go to the arcade, whatever. And, you get to meet people. So I was on some, I guess you're trying to find yourself. And when I say find yourself, I wanted to explore away from my neighborhood. So I would get on the train and just go to 42nd Street. There was an arcade. There was 2 arcades there. I would go to 34th Street. In the train station, there was an arcade down there back in the day. That was back when Street Fighter 2 first came out. So I was just outside, and I wouldn't, some of my boys ain't want to go nowhere. Oh, you going over down there? Whatever, man. I grabbed a bag of tokens. Remember tokens, y'all? No Metro cards, tokens. I grabbed my bag of tokens, little few dollars I had, and I grabbed my Walkman. Remember Walkman? There was no iPods or phones, cell phones, whatever. Elmo Soprano salute. And I'd make it happen. My few dollars, and I'd go down there. Was it the safest? Absolutely not. But Times Square was the mutual spot. And go down there and you meet people. And one night I was down there playing some video games, and I saw a group of girls there, and I just cased the joint just to see. There was 3 chicks all by themselves, and I talked to one with the biggest butt. Peter, what up? So chit-chatting with her, obviously while I was talking with her, and she thought I was cute, whatever, so we exchanged numbers, whatever. So I said, where you stay at? She said, I live in Coney Island. Damn. Where you live? So I live in the Bronx. She was like, oh my God, you live in the Bronx. No, I don't live in the South Bronx. But whatever. Because the Bronx had a reputation, the old South Bronx, which don't even look like that anymore. They done rebuilt everything, but whatever. Right? Yeah, Tay, Penn Station. The arcade at Penn Station, So we exchanged numbers. I said, well, I'm about to leave. It was like 9 o'clock at night. She said, yeah, we about to leave, whatever. So I said, can I call you when I get home? I'll be home in like an hour and some change. She's like, all right, well, call me. So I left, went home, got back to the block. My friends are outside. Where you coming from? I was like, I was downtown, whatever. Met this girl. I'm about to go call her. I was like, all right. So I went upstairs, waited, and I called her. She answered the phone. I said, okay, that's a good thing. She answered the phone. So y'all remember these days, y'all, you stay on the phone with a person you're interested with. Y'all on the phone forever. So I got back to the Bronx, got back to the crib like around about 9:45. I was on that phone with that shorty until like 4 in the morning. Watching TV, just on the phone. We're just talking, school, people on the block, whatever. And you know how it is. It get a little grimy. How big is your thing? And I ask her, well, okay, well, my thing this big, and then I ask her, what bra size you wear? Oh, we're in D cups, whatever. But I know what she was holding in those jeans. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna, whatever. So she's like, all right, listen, My mama's a CO, corrections officer. I said, all right. She says, she work overnights on Friday night, Saturday night. So you can come up here. All right, cool. How do I get to you? You take the D train from where you are in the Bronx all the way to the last stop. Bainbridge Avenue all the way to Coney Island. One train. I said, bet. So this was the 90s, y'all. All right, I'll make myself a little vulnerable right here. Yes, I had an S curl, a little blowout S curl with the line up, and I had a gold chain. Yeah, I look good though. I'm gonna find an old picture. I'm gonna post it too. I look good though. So I went and I got my S curl done. I got my line up. You know what I'm saying? I was wearing a black shirt with some army fatigues and some Timbs. I pulled one leg up. I was a big dude. No one messed with me. You know what I'm saying? So I got to, I was on that train, felt like forever. You know what it is? It's shorter now. Hen Dog, what up? It's shorter now because I know the route, but back then it's like, man, am I at the end yet? Damn. So I get to Coney Island, and I said, oh shit, Melanin, what up? This is the Warriors at the end where they, Warriors come out and play. I said, they go to Ferris wheel right there. And I said, man, I ain't been down this way in years. So I got off, there's people. Now this is now they done built that place back up too. But before back then, it was still like a crap hole. Bro. So I get off the train, I walk down these steps, and I remember I walked to the right, and I'm seeing boats in the water, and I said, this is a pretty nice neighborhood. So I said, where her building at? So I stopped at a payphone. Remember, y'all, this was like 95. Like 95. I said, so I stopped at a payphone, put a quarter in, called her crib. She answers the phone. I said, listen, where you building at? She said, where are you? I said, well, I'm out here. She's like, oh, okay. She's like, all right, what do you see? And I said, I see a boat. And she said, did you see the wheel? I said, yeah. She said, well, which way do you walk? I said, I made a right and I walked. She said, no. Remember I told you got to make a left. And I said, oh, she did say that. So I walked back and I kept walking. I went to the train and I kept walking. Ladies and gentlemen, just know this. To the right was where the white people live. This way to the left were the projects. I'm like, okay. All right. No problem. There's projects all around the city. No problem. So now I'm walking I'm like, one of those buildings is her building. I'm walking. I get 3 blocks from what I saw was her building. And all I saw was purple and gray. Anybody in the chat from New York other than Tay? I saw purple and gray purple bandanas, gray shirts, gray pants. And Banks, what up? Yeah, exactly. She meant her other left. Oh, yeah, I know, Tay. There was a gang out here called the Decepticons. If you know, you know. Might sound corny now, but that was, and I looked, every now and again, you're on a train, you see 1 or 2 of them, 3 of them, you're like, all right. But I'm in Brooklyn, bro. That's where they from. And I didn't anticipate seeing like 20 of them in front of this building, right? So I'm standing there like 3 blocks away. And I'm looking like, oh my God. How bad do I want the beats? Do I want to go upstairs and beat that? Or do I want to risk getting beat? So the first thing I did was I tucked my chain. It's the first thing I did. You see what look, one of my favorite rappers, Sean Price, he was a D-Sep. And I'm going to tell you something, Jeff. You know who I think was out there that day? You know who I think was at 704 Joe Salute? You know who I think was out there that day? Fucking Rock. Because he's like 6'5". He was the tallest one out there. I'm pretty sure that was him. And there's another dude that he used to do calisthenics. He had a YouTube channel. And he wore a big old Decepticon shirt. I know that was him. He used to have dreads. And Blu-ray knows him. Because, you know, the exercise thing. But that dude, you know how I know it was him? Because he had a missing tooth in the front. Now I'm standing all the way, like, literally like about 2.5 blocks up, and I'm looking at this. And I'm like, damn. So I stop at another payphone. I stick the cord in, I call her back. I said, babe, listen, you're building such and such. She said, yeah. I'm on the 5th floor. I said, look, it's like 50 niggas in front of your building. Oh, don't pay them no mind. Oh, that's Buquan and Funcon and Raheem. And look, those are your peoples. I don't know them. She said, man, I'm just going to ring the bell. Just come up. I'm like, look, I'm 2 blocks away. Ring the bell so I could just come in. Cartoons that made us salute. I said, just ring the bell because I don't want to be outside. If y'all know anything about it, like, look, I don't know. I know projects look different in different states. In New York, the buildings are red. All right, the elevators smell like piss. Nobody curbs their dog. And when you ring someone's bell, it's never a beep. It's like a crap load of static. And you don't know if it's even working. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna beeline it. So they all listening to music, right? Listening to music. And when I walk up, it's like I hear them stop. Like, who that? And I'm over there with the fresh S-curl haircut. My chain is tucked, but I got on the shirt. My arms is big. I'm still big. I was a little bigger back then. But they're like, who this? And of course, when I get to the door, it's not open. So I put my hand on the door and I'm watching their reflection. And I'm like, all right, if they run up on me, I'm snuffing the biggest dude and I'm just gonna run back to the train. Now, lucky for me, somebody came out the building and I went in. So when I heard the door close, I was like, yo, who that? I said, all right, I'm in the building now. Went up to her crib. She let me in. I said, yeah, you were supposed to be. She's like, oh, well, I thought you was closer. So I just pressed it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, all right, so yeah. Tell you, it was summertime. By the time I got there, it was about like 4 in the afternoon. So the sun was up. It was like the middle of the day. Go upstairs. You know, we laughing, joking, watch them on TV, you know. I'll tell the full story and give you details on Patreon. But, you know, bing, 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 things happen. I got what I came for, right? Here's where I messed up. I fell asleep. The sun was already going down. You know, I landed the plane, did what I did, and I fell asleep. And you know how you just like wake up like, oh, snap. So I woke up and looked at the clock. It's 2 a.m. I'm like, all right, no problem. She's in the bathroom. Now, mind you, y'all, this is also a risk because I'm in a whole nother borough. For all I know, I could have woke up with a gun in my face. because she did say she knew all those dudes, right? Dudes get robbed all the time. So that was a risk in itself. Fine. But the booty was so big, I just had to, right? You know, stupid stuff. So she comes out the bathroom. She says, yo, you got to bounce because my mom's getting off work and she be home like around 3. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right. So, you know, I went in the bathroom, washed up, whatever. I was like, all right, I'll see you later. Go downstairs. Right before I walk out the door, now there's 30 cats outside. And I say, is there more of them outside? It's Brooklyn, it's summertime, it's 2 something in the morning, they're outside. So I look in the back like, yo, is there a back door? I like kind of like walk to, they seen me come out the elevator but walk to the back. I didn't know. I kind of like opened the door, looked like an alley with a trash can. I said, I don't even know how to get out of here. So I said, fuck it. So I went out the front door, right? Now everyone stopped. They playing Biggie. Everyone stopped. So, you know, I start walking to the train. The train like 5 blocks. So I'm walking. All the stores is closed. And you know how you hear sneakers and boots because it's summertime and it's New York. Everybody wears Timbs, whether it's snowing, whether it's 2 degrees outside or 90 degrees outside. Everyone wears Timbs at some point. Timbs are weapons, y'all. You don't want to get stomped out with Timbs. I've seen dudes get stomped out. When we worked at the clubs, if you had on Timbs, we didn't let you in the club. We didn't let you in the club. Those things are weapons. I seen a dude get stomped out so bad when we broke the fight up. He had Timberland on the side of his forehead. Somebody got him good. It said Timberland. I saw it with the branch, the tree, right on his forehead. He was unconscious. I said, damn. So I walked past the store and I looked in the reflection. 10 people behind me. Mansa Musa, salute. Next door, the rest of them behind me. So a power walk turned into a jog. Then I heard somebody say, yo, get that big nigga. Bro, when I tell you, and I had on Timbs. I had on beef and broccolis. When I tell you, Usain Bolt couldn't beat me in a race that morning. Nope. I felt like every stride that I took, I was flying. I wasn't tired. My head was up. I was like this. I got to the staircase. There's 2 D trains upstairs. And I hear the train. I already had made a decision. If it's always one train leaving, but you gotta pick the right train that's leaving, because if you pick the wrong train, now you're stuck. And on the D train, you can't go from car to car. So I'm thinking of everything. I'm like, and by the way, 90s, everybody had a box cutter. The only thing that I didn't want, well, I didn't want to get jumped, but the only thing I didn't want, don't give me no $1.50. Don't cut my face. So I already had my mind made up because I had a box cutter on me too. I said, yo, I'm going to flush against the wall. Now, I can fight. I said, somebody getting knocked out, like 2 or 3 people getting knocked out, but so they coming with blades. I can't fight all these dudes off. Somebody gonna get it. But I can take a cut on my forearm or whatever, but I'm be covering my face. I don't want to get cut on my face. Dudes my age, you see walking around with the scar right here, they were outside in the 90s, bro. So I ran up the stairs and these cats was coming up. Y'all saw World War Z? When you see that tidal wave of humanity, that's how they look, chasing me up the steps. I get to the turnstile. Hop the turnstile. I cleared it. Boom! I don't know where this cop came from. But when I landed, he tackled me and slammed me against the gate. I'm tired of you guys not paying your fare. And I said, they're chasing me. And when he looked, all he saw was that humanity coming up the steps. He let go of me and pulled out his gun and pointed it, and they stopped. There's a guy, big nigga, don't ever let us catch you up here. Yeah, we gonna F you up, da da da. My heart racing. I'm standing there with my eyes big. He turned around, looks at me, and says, "What did you do?" I said, "I ain't do nothing. I just went to go see my girl in the house, and she live in such and such." He said, "Listen to me." He said, "Where do you live?" He said, "I'm getting chased by the Turnbull ACs." No, the Turnbull ACs was from the Bronx. Turnbull Avenue's off of Castle Hill. Oh my gosh, bro. I don't know who they were. They were the Decepticons from Brooklyn. He said, "Where do you live?" I said, "I live in the Bronx." He said, "What are you doing here at 2 a.m? I said, "I told you. I came out here to see my girl, whatever. He said, "Get on this train." He said, "I'm off work on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I don't care what you do on my days off. Don't come back here, though. Get on the train and get out of here." When I got home, it's like 4 a.m. She called, left me a message. Just calling to see if you got home okay. And, bro, I called her. And it went to voicemail. I said, "Yo, every nigga on your block chased me to the train. I ain't never coming to your block again." Man, she called me. That was a Friday. She called me Saturday afternoon. "I'm so sorry, but I know them, and I don't know why that they would do." I'm like, "Man, I ain't never going to your block again, man. If your ass ain't coming to the Bronx, and you're done." We ended up meeting a few more times in Manhattan, though. But I ain't never going to Brooklyn for that. That was actually my last time going to Brooklyn for some tail. But my point is, chasing tail almost got me killed. Andre Toppin, salute. And that wasn't the first time. I mean, that was the most scariest time. The rest of the stories I'll leave for my Patreon. But that right there that was crazy. And that was a time where I said, I ain't doing this no more. I ain't doing this no more. This is crazy. What am I doing? But listen, there was no BBLs back then. But she was holding. But it wasn't worth that, bro. I promise you it wasn't worth that. I promise you it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't worth it. Brothers, I want you to think about how much time you wasted chasing tail. If y'all did. Akil, what up? Oh, so Akil, you know what I'm talking about. Brooklyn was dangerous as hell, man. I had no business. It was to a point where I met a chick like in Harlem, Queens. Where you live? Brooklyn, Brownsville, Flatbush, Coney Island. I'm like, man, come on. Let me get your number though. Man. Let me tell you something, man. It's not worth it. I want you guys to think about how much money. Yeah, Jose, I could have been offed. He said niggas is nuts. He said niggas be nuts for them big old butts. Yeah. I was one of them. Yeah, Night Train. Listen, bro. I'm telling you, it was not fun, bro. I could have wrote a song about it, but it was not fun. I could laugh about it now. But as I was going through it, that's not cool, bro. It's not cool. But I want y'all to think how much money you could have saved by not wasting it on a shorty that you should have known, or maybe you did know it wasn't worth it. But since you're already in it, you're like, maybe I should just try and seal the deal. It's never worth it. I'm talking to you from a place of experience. I have wasted money. I have wasted time. I've put myself in dangerous positions. And if I was to add all of that up, to the point where I've gotten married, to add that up, I may have wasted about a good 7 years on tail. That's a lot. That's a damn prison bid. I mean, let's say 8 to make it even. Dealing with women that wasn't worth it. Now watch this. They wasn't worth it, and I knew better, but I didn't know to do better. I ignored things. You waste money, you waste time. You put up with things when you're younger I look back at stuff that I put up with, and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Things that I would never put up with today. And what was you putting up with it for? Maybe you thought that that's what a relationship was. Maybe you thinking that her just arguing once a week is just what couples do. No. I had to stop. I said, shit. I didn't see my parents do this. And when I started to wisen up, my options opened up. What do I mean by wisening up? When you wisen up, and when I say wisening up, I mean focus on you. Like, you know what? She crazy. You know, she like to argue. She talk with her hands a little too close to my face. She calls me up and invites me out, but wants me to pay for everything. This is when I was getting a little older. And what am I doing this for? A little bit of tail. Get control of that. Because you know what I also learned? Women get horny too. They may tell you they're not smashing. And I'm talking about my era, y'all. They may tell you they're not smashing, but let me explain something to you. They're just not smashing you. I grew up in a very interesting time. It's weird. They would bring up sex because I didn't bring it up. That I learned not to do. I'm not going to bring up sex. They brought up sex. And they were so interested about what I thought about it. Hold up. They just wanted to pick my brain. And that was the only time I lied to them. Sex, what's that? Or you don't be effing? Not a virgin, but you know. You don't put out that you're thirsty. Mr. Tiptoe, salute. Yeah, that's the way to be, brother. That's the way to be. Yeah, you know, if it's there, it's there. You know, it is what it is. Then how many partners you had? The term bodies wasn't around back then. Malcolm, what up? Yeah, you know, I'll tell them any old number, whatever. And then when you start asking about them, don't they make it sound like they're good, clean, and wholesome? So let me get this straight. You're not a virgin, but you're not outside like that. I'll take you at your word. But you're asking me about all of this stuff, and shorties were out now asking me, do you watch pornography? Yeah, I'm a young man, of course. Do you? Oh no, I don't need to watch it. Wait a minute. You don't need to watch it? What does that mean? Oh, I just don't need to. So, okay, let me get this straight. You don't need to watch it. Why? It's just not your thing? Okay, it might not be your thing. But you're not out there, you know, smashing? No. Here's the funny part. You don't flick the bean, you know? Well, I'm on YouTube, y'all. Work with me. You don't flick the bean? No, I don't need to do that. Why? Pay attention when they talk. You don't need to do that. Why? One chick slipped up. Oh, because I could get it. Oh, but you said you don't be doing it like that. Oh, what I meant was, oh, I know. I hear you just fine. I hear you just fine. You don't need to flick the bean. You don't need pornography. You want to know everything about me and everything that you say, that I was honest about. You say you don't do. So you don't get horny. You don't watch corn. You don't flick the bean. But if you needed some, you could, you got options after saying you're not out there like that. So what am I dating? A zombie? All right, look, just know that you like it. I love it. If you don't need it, I ain't going to press you. You know what always happens? In my case, they end up pressing me. And when you get it, now they think you owe them the world. And this is what I'm saying, stop chasing tail. It was a little bit of reverse psychology, but for a little while, I'm taking what little bit of money I had, instead of putting it away and trying to save up to move out my mama's house, putting it towards my first car, whatever it is I felt I needed to do. Now I'm blowing it on little dates with her. And throughout our quote unquote relationship, she getting on my nerves. She's expecting the world. And we're broke college students. I ain't got no money. And you ain't got no money. Why you want to go to the movies every goddamn weekend? We had a place out here called Skate Key. Why you need to be in Skate Key every Friday night? Then you want to go to the diner and sit down. Man, come on. I'm trying to save bread here, but you're trying to figure out how to break that to her. And the older you get, the less F's you give. Like, yo, look, I'm trying to graduate, right? I'm trying to get a car. I'm trying to move up my mama's house. All these dates that I'm taking you out on, it adds up. Well, you're supposed to be taking me out and, I'm your girlfriend. Shut up. I'm your man. Treat me one day or 2 days or 3 days. Or how about go home? Shut up. Shut up. And, I developed an attitude. That's when women started telling me, hey, you think you're all that? I am. Strange. The less F's I gave, the more attention I got. But when I was Mr. Nice Guy, they drained my resources because I allowed them. And I was always stuck and broke. But when I say, you know what, I got to do me here. I need to buy me a little putt-putt to get around the city because the trains is dangerous. I don't like taking the train. It takes all day. Let me save some money, get a used car or something. Drive back and forth to school. And once I started focusing on that, then these chicks come. And I had to be disciplined enough to say, you know what? No, I'm focused right now. You know why you focus on yourself right now? Because if you focus on yourself and become the best version of yourself, it's going to take some time. It might take those 8 years that I say I wasted. I could have reached a higher level faster if I didn't stop and entertain these women for sexual gratification. Clarence McLean, Bronx on deck, my brother, salute. Young DZ, salute. You got to be honest with yourself, fellas. You got to exercise penis discipline. And when you're younger, it's a little more difficult. But I'm telling you, y'all, you have better options. A more mature woman interested in you. When they see you focused, women love a man that's focused. Women love a man that has a plan. 2 to 5 year plan. I'm here right now. In 2 to 5 years, I'm gonna be here making this amount of money, living over here. I have a plan. We can go out and get something to eat, baby girl, but Tuesdays I'm doing this, Wednesdays I'm doing that, da 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 da. They look at you and be like, oh, I want to be a part of what he's building. A real woman. A bird will say, okay, well, come holler at me when you reach all of that. And she's going to still be dealing with foodie calls and everything else. When she'll spin the block, she'll keep tabs on you, but she'll spin the block. And when you're close to what you're having, or what accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish, she gonna pop up. She gonna pop up. Y'all remember the live I did a couple of days ago? While she was out there chasing drug dealers and everything else. What happened? Dudes went and they became CEOs, and now they're saying, yeah, I don't want you no more. You got ran through by the drug dealers on the block. And then what did she say? Y'all need to get over that. We did. What, you think you could lay and play and then come wait for me at the finish line? I'm like, oh, okay, come on with me now. Nah, get out of here. With your single motherhood and penicillin for whatever STD you had. Get out of here. A real woman will see your potential. And she won't wait for you at the finish line. When you say, I'm busy on this day, this day, this day, and I only have about 3 hours on this day, she's going to take those 3 hours. Let's go get some coffee. Let's go get some Starbucks on me. That's the woman you maintain her information when she sees your potential. But you don't lose focus. Listen, fellas. That's why corn was really invented. We all have needs. Here's what you do. When you're stressed out and you're working and you come home, put on your favorite video chick, shake dice, get it out, shower, disgust yourself, and go lay down and start your day over. Be disgusted with yourself, but it'd be more disgusting if you took your last $100 and try to show shorty a good time and she don't even touch it, but you out $100. Times is hard. Focus. 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 Because you know why? When you reach your potential, they're going to be there. They are going to be there. Don't you worry. Listen. How good are you going to feel? How good are you going to feel when you're where you want to be financially? You have a plan. You know when you're going to retire. You have money in different places working for you. And then you got sisters like the sisters I have in the back. And these are all good women. And let's say they're too small for you. Let's say you like chubby chicks. That's fine. But my point is, you have your pick from the litter. That's my point. Whatever look you into, tall, short, fat, skinny, brown skin, light skin, Latina, Asian, African, Jamaican. But you have your pick from the litter. You know why? You got yourself together. You got yourself together. So they're competing for you. Hopefully they learned how to be wives. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on a second, y'all. I ain't gonna say anything dude gotta say. Fuck out of here. You got to put yourself in the best position so you can have your pick from the litter, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, put yourself in the best position where when this man reaches his top potential, that he'll pick you. You know why? Because he's going to take care of you, because you'll be taking care of him. That's the team right there. Did I say anything about being a high value man? I didn't say that. Not every man is a high value man, y'all. Stop getting stuck on that. That thing does exist. If you want to pursue that goal, I'm not saying that you can't. You can. You can. But some brothers are just cool being average. You're not broke. You ain't got no bad habits like drug problems or anything like that. You might not be making 100,000 a year. You might be making 75, 80. You know what I'm saying? Average brother like myself. I make 6 figures, but I got to work for it. It's blood money. And I be tired, y'all. But it's blood money. I'm being dead serious. I just consider myself an average dude. I'm just fine. I hang around a bunch of average brothers, and I do know brothers that make a lot of money, and ain't nobody judging each other. Xavier, what up, brother? You know what I'm saying? If that's your goal, then pursue it. But brothers, don't get hung up on these titles. That doesn't mean you failed if that's not you. And avoid the women that pursue men like that. Avoid the women that want to judge you for not being that. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because the women that judge you for not being that, 9 times out of 10, they don't deserve that quote unquote high value man. Because they have to meet the criteria to deal with the high value man. And the criteria of a high value man, and I'm sure y'all, everyone in here has watched Kevin Samuels, he's broken it down. You could go to YouTube and put in Kevin Samuels high value man. There's rules to it. And one of the things that most women that deal with high value men deal with, guess what it is? When he's on that business trip, he might be laying pipe somewhere else. You got to eat that, baby. Remember when he said, can you share him? Can you share him? Can you share a man? Most women was like, oh no, oh no. And then when they called in and he broke it down, what are you willing to give up? So because he goes on a business trip and laid pipe somewhere, what are you gonna do? Leave him? Now the fools will be like, oh, well, I'm gonna leave him. Okay. So because he got some sexual gratification, you're going to leave the house, the car. You're a stay-at-home woman now. And just because you're going to file for divorce, it depends on what state you're in. You know, certain states, infidelity is not grounds for divorce. I do know that. You do know that, right? So these chicks be thinking they're smart. They're not smart. This dude could bury you. Matter of fact, how about this? High value man, you could literally take half his stuff. What happens when you take half his stuff and 5 years down the road, your expenses haven't changed, but meanwhile, now you have no income coming in. He done cut you a deal. Maybe he gave you $3 million. And in 3 years, you done ran through it. Now you're down, you check your bank account, like, man, I only got 989,000 left. My brother 78 Sports TV in the building, salute. Only got $989,000 left. You would just spend. Now you gotta go back into the workforce. Hope you're educated. And now you have to find a job to maintain this lifestyle. You're taking L's. But you're a woman. You could always go to OnlyFans. That's like a safe haven for these chicks. It's like amazing where we at right now. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. So that's why I understood it. I didn't get hung up on the title. I understood what a high value man is. I understand what a high value woman is. But brothers, when you become the best version of yourself, just because you're not making 6 figures, just because you're not driving some $100,000 car, that don't mean you failed in life. You're comfortable in being who you are. I know a lot of brothers like that. I live in New York. Not everybody's making six figures, but their ribs ain't touching. They go on vacations. They enjoying their life. They take care of their families, and their families love them, and they love their families. I don't mean you've lost. I got friends that wanted to go to the tip top or whatever. I know a couple of my boys. Two of my friends are doctors. Man, when they graduated school, though, they were in debt up to their eyeballs, bro. They didn't finish paying off that debt for like about 14 years. They done turned gray and went bald. I was like, man, you graduated. You was young with an afro. Now you look like Dr. Scratch and Sniff from Tiny Toons. Oh no, Animaniacs. Crazy stuff, right? But people got hung up on those words, and salute to the Godfather. But he didn't say for people to run out and do that. He did say for men to become the best version of themselves. Now, when you become the best version of yourself, what if you make it $75,000 a year and you got a retirement plan? You've been working for, I don't know, Department of Environmental Protection. You become the best version of yourself. You're making $90,000 a year, whatever. All right, cool. So the woman that's trying to compete to get with you, I'm just saying you have your pick of the litter. She's coming to you with a couple of kids and she's never been married. Maybe you don't want that. Cool. Shorty over there, she got a kid out of wedlock. Maybe you don't want that. Cool. Shorty over here, she ain't got no kids, but she's up to her eyeballs in college debt. And she's 35 years old, paying minimum of student loans. It's like, oh my God. But shorty right there, college grad, she carries herself well, she works out or whatever it is you into. I know a brother that told me, I said, how do you know that she was the one? He said, bro, when we went out, she ain't hold back. She cleared that table like a hurdle. She said, yo, I'm hungry. I hope I don't embarrass you. He said, what you mean, eat? He said she had the appetizer. She ate all of the steak or whatever. I said, man, she must have been hungry. He said, yeah. He said, but you know what the great thing was? I said, what? When the waiter brought the bill, she dropped a $50 bill on the table. And I said, what you doing? She said, no, I'm paying, I said, what you do? He said, I slid it back to her. He said, I got it. 17 years later, they're married with 3 kids. She was saying things like, my daddy told me never go out on a date without no money. Never go out where you don't know how to get home on your own. Never kiss on a first date. Everything that he told me, she said, my daddy, my daddy, my daddy, my daddy, my daddy, my daddy, my daddy. And 17 years later, 3 kids. Cool as hell. And she do eat a lot. We all hung out one night and and I don't know where she put it because she's tiny. She's like 5'2", maybe like 130 pounds, if that. I don't know where she puts it all. And she's cute. And the joints he turned down, I know 2 of those chicks, they look like strippers. It may have been. But he went with this short, petite, dark-skinned shorty. When he told me the $50 bill story, I was like, yo, that right there, that's it right there. But he had his pick of the litter. What I do know is, back when we was in our 20s, those stripper chicks, myself also, we would have been hounding over those chicks. And they would have known that. And while they're dangling hips and boobs in our face, we'd have been buying them dinner, calling them every other day, all for the sake of what? Trying to get into the drawers? Well, once you get past the drawers, then what? Then what? That's why they tell you when you're young, you're not supposed to be smashing like that, because you're too immature to handle that amount of pleasure. You're too immature. First time you get that orgasm, some of y'all went crazy. Even some of the girls. Two things happen when a girl has an orgasm. Iron Waffle, salute. Two things happen. Or two possible things. The one thing is, it happens and it kind of like scares them. They're like, okay, he did it. That's the only person I want to do it with. And they have to control it. The other option is, okay, what was that? I like it. And let me see if he can do it. And let me see if he can do it. And let me see if he can do it. And let me see if he can do it. And they get addictive. The thing is, that behavior is celebrated nowadays from a woman. And they expect men that have been responsible to deal with that. That's why when you see all these women on these weird ass panels, well, let me not call the panels weird. Let me call the women who behave a certain way, I'll call them weird. You see them acting weird on panels. You heard it when I played it the other day when Anton Daniels was on there. They were saying the most ridiculous and disrespectful things that I've ever heard. They get ran through all through high school by these drug dealers, and then they expect the nerd, when he becomes something, he makes something of himself, to be at the finish line and for them to accept them. Telling them to get over it. Blue collar guy, my brother, salute. He says, salute, Drew, you speaking nothing but facts. My opinion, the big O for women is supposed to initiate the pair bonding. Exactly, my brother. But women mismanage this trait in order to do 3 or 4 activity. Exactly. Exactly. I do know women that they've told me they've married their first. I do know women that had a few partners, but they said the partner that gave it to them, that's the guy that they married. But I come from a different era. I also know women that chased around the dude that gave it to them, but he didn't want nothing to do with them. And that's what makes them salty. It's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing. But I hope the message gets out, because this is something that people need to understand. And I could talk to the women separately, but as it pertains to the men, you tell your sons, you know what I'm saying, your nephews or whatever, stop chasing tail. Focus on you, because women love a man that's actually focused, laser focused on becoming the best version of himself. When they see you busy, busting moves, when you walking out your front door, your house or your building, you always walking top speed to your public transportation or to your car, and you come in and then you're going back in the crib, and you got your book bag on and you're reading something, you're looking busy. And you're also looking good because you're dressing accordingly. Your pants ain't sagging. Look at this, a pair of jeans, Air Force Ones, a button up, and a sports jacket. That's it. You're always coming and going. You might be going to school. You might be going to your job. You might be going to school in your job. Women are watching. You know how I know women are watching? They outnumber us 8-1. There's more of them than us. DS3, salute. They're absolutely watching us. Focus on yourself. Because eventually, matter of fact, I'll give you a prime example of that. There's a song written about that. Right in your face and you don't know. written by Alicia Keys. That song, You Don't Know My Name. Where's the lie? Has that ever happened to you, brothers? You just going around with your daily routine, and then when you finally sit down and get a minute, and you just sitting down, and here she come. Hello, hey. Yeah, I work at the, yeah. I was just wondering, it's like, oh shit, how long was you watching me? That's happened to me a few times in my life. Y'all remember the narration she does at the end of that song? Baby, baby, baby. The narration, she was like, yeah, you come in and you order the coffee or whatever. He didn't know that she was peeping him the whole time. That's happened. Y'all ever been peeped by somebody and you didn't even know? I'm talking heterosexual activities, y'all. Because you know I got these stalkers out here. Like Miguel.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
My brother Thomas in the building, salute. You know what I'm talking about. That's never happened to y'all? I know it happens to women all the time, and y'all, depending on how he looks, there's a fine line between harassment and flirting. If you look like Shamar Moore in his prime, that's flirting. If you look like James Toney, that's harassment. Imagine James Toney coming up to a shorty, hey baby, I got milk. You going to Burger King? Stop walking up on me, dog. That's harassment. Snacks B, salute. You know what I'm talking about? I remember I had this whack ass security job and I was so depressed. They made me wear this stupid ass uniform. The damn pants was too tight. Every step I took, I thought it was gonna bust it and my nuts was gonna fly out, man. It was crazy. I hated that damn place, man. It was down on Union Square somewhere, and there's a park over there. So every time on my break, I only had 30 minutes, I'd walk to the park. Nice spring day, and I go there and I just sat down like, what am I doing with my life? I'm just here to pay for these college books, man. Oh my God, I got 4 more hours to go. And girl just came and sat down next to me. She says, how you doing? I'm like, I'm not good. Look at these pants. And she cracked up. She said, yeah, they're tight. She said, you got a nice tushy though. She called my ass a tushy. I was like, what? She stuck her hand out, told me her name. And I said, how you doing? She said, yeah, you know, I see you go to work every day. You stand there. You do look angry. I said, yeah, I don't want to be there. But what do you do other than that? I'm like, yeah, I'm a student. I'm in college. You know, thank you. Yeah, you look nice. Oh, thank you. And, well, why don't we exchange numbers? I said, oh, I was like, man, she was trying to pick me up. And she worked at one of the stores, and she used to stand across the store, and she was watching me the whole time. Whole time. No idea. Tight pants. It's crazy, man. You don't want to freeball it in those pants they gave me, man. I swear, I'd be taking the train home and I'd be horrified. I'm like, man, one bad split, because it was ridiculous. Like, it was ridiculous. Somehow I just been wearing oak tag. I swear to God, if I sneezed hard, ripped right in half. You do not free ball in those pants, man. It'd be a sack attack right there on the train. I'd have to take off my shirt and wrap it around like a kilt. Bad times. I hated that job. I stayed on that job for like, though, I had to pay for this book, man. It was minimum wage. I was on that job for like about 4 months. It was so brief, I wasn't even putting that job on my resume because I was embarrassed. It's crazy. Lord have mercy. Damn pants. It was bad, man. Yeah, Jose, but you know, she was cute though. We hung out a few times. Nothing happened. But she was kind of like earthy. She was light skinned with freckles. She was cute, but she was like earthy. We hung out and she had this netted, like that she made herself and like very earthy. She wore slippers a lot. She wore like a long skirt, and she was y'all know what I mean by saying like she's an earthy chick. She like would like really like go sit in the park and say she like to listen to birds, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so not the guy for her. But for some reason she was attracted to me. I mean, we kissed a few times, but I didn't, you know, and that was another thing. She didn't believe in premarital sex. Totally respect that. Totally respect that. Yeah, yours truly, nature girl. That's what she was. She said, yeah, I like to go upstate sometimes, and I like having my feet touch the grass. You know how that feeling, your feet touch the grass? And I'd be sitting there like, yeah. I'm like, oh, man. Wonder what she's doing now, because you know what she said? I really think that marijuana should be legal, don't you think? And I'm like, I don't smoke, but hey, if it works for you. She would talk on her hand, be out like this. I'm like, she really don't, I'm so not for her. She was red bone, and she had like a distance runner's physique, not a sprinter. Sprinter's a diesel, but a distance runner. They're very slim, very in shape. But she had cuff. Snacks B, what up? I never got that far. I never beat. I never got that far. So I respected her space totally. I said, look, you know, we was cool, but I said, you know, look, I'm gonna be very honest. I told her, so I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm all about that premarital. And I'm undressing you with my eyes as of late a lot, and I'm respecting your space. I'm totally, you know. Oh, well, thank you. You know, you're so honest. You're so honest. Yeah, you're so honest. And we remained cool for a little while. You know, it was one of those things. Fill out a contact. You know, I had my own phone line, and I was still living at my mama's house back then too. But I had my own phone line, and eventually, I ain't paid a bill, and they cut the phone off. And when I cut the phone back on, I had got a new phone number. So I don't know if she ever called me. But yeah, I tried to, when Facebook, you know, when MySpace, you know, got online, I started like trying to find people who I thought I found her. I wasn't sure, but whatever, man. I trust she's all right. I hope she found the earthy person to be around. You know what I mean? But, you know, she was a good person. She was a very good person. But you brothers need to choose wisely. Focus on you becoming great, so you have better options when you decide, okay, now I'm ready to procreate. If you haven't already, now I'm ready to pick from the litter. And when you start picking, protect what you have. You're conducting interviews. You're conducting interviews. No longer do you have to be an idiot like me and go into these stupid neighborhoods where you can get murdered for the name of what? Tail? Believe me, it feels great, but it's not that serious. It's not worth your life, man. No doubt, Mr. Tiptoe. Thank you for sliding through, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Become the best version of yourself. Work on yourself, because women are attracted to success. So are gold diggers, but you got to vent that out. I mean, you got to be able to vent that out. There's a lot of chameleons out there. You dig? So I ain't gonna hold y'all any further, man. I'm hungry. I'm more hungry than a hostage right now, so I'm gonna go see what I got to eat. Maybe I'm gonna eat a salad or something, and talk this boxing tomorrow in the AM, man. Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. Like and share the video. Sign up to my Patreon. You're going to get it raw and uncut over there. I'm very limited on YouTube. So when I do Pep Talk, I'm going to be doing lives over there too. I'm going to be doing live streams over there on Patreon. Do not, I repeat, do not miss it. I got a lot of stories to share, a lot of advice to give based off of what I've gone through. Basically, it's going to be don't be me, because the reason why I am who I am is because I have effed up so many times. I have effed up so many times that failure is an art form to me. And once I understood how to fail forward, I've become successful. You understand? So yeah. So I'll see y'all in the AM. Salute to y'all. And y'all take it gently.